Uh, Hi everyone, I am Aastha Bansal. I am currently pursuing computer science engineering from Indira Gandhi Delhi Technical University for Women, and I am in my third year. I was a Generation Google Scholar 2021, and I have also been a part of programs like Intuit Augment and Microsoft Engage. I thank PEC ACM for inviting me for this wonderful session, and I hope the session is fruitful for everyone who is attending. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Asta. So we have another guest, Gaurisha Srivastava with us. Gaurisha,
So,
can you please introduce yourself?
yeah, definitely, I'd love to. So, first of all, before giving my introduction, I would like to apologize for the reason that I won't be able to open up my webcam. It is not working today. So, I really apologize for that. So, if I talk about myself, firstly, my name is Kaurisha Srivastava, and I am a third year student at Indira Gandhi Delhi Technical University for Women. Astha and I go to the same university, and I am majoring in the field of information technology. So, and as of now, I am an incoming intern at Microsoft for the summer of 2022, next year, that is. And then previously, I was one of the scholar for this prestigious program by Google Generation Scholarship. And then I was also one of the mentee at Microsoft Engage program and some other programs as well. As of now, I would like to restrict myself till here only. And one last thing that I would say on a very informal note is I really love to bake things and watch movies. So if you like to cook and you like to watch movies, then I will be your go-to person. So yeah.
Okay, lovely. So we have Gaurisha with us. I think she's joined. Uh, okay, we have Chetali with us. Okay, hi Chetali. Uh, she joined, I think.
Chitali,
Okay.
you're on mute.
Yeah. Chetali, uh, we can't hear you.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are.
Uh, okay, and I'm visible, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. So, hi everyone. I am Chetali, and I'm one of the recipients of the Generation Google Scholarship for the year 2021. I'm a third year undergrad at the Indian Institute of Information Technology, Nagpur, and an upcoming intern at Flipkart for the next half of 2022. And yeah, I currently in my day I just binge watch Netflix and submit my assignments.
Okay. So thank you all for joining in. Uh, in this session, I'll ask you a few questions about your experience in those things, and then we'll have a quick Q&A session with the audience where they can ask questions from you in the chat section. So the first question I have for you guys is which you have mostly answered in the introduction itself. Like, okay, okay, so how did you how did this scholarship program impact your career, and why do you think others should apply to this program, and how can it benefit them? So we'll start with Asta.
Yeah, okay. So I think Generation Google Scholarship comes with a bundle of, you know, benefits for these scholars, starting with the amount itself. The amount that you receive as a scholarship recipient is 1,000 USD dollars. So if someone is looking for financial help, I think it's a great amount to start with, and it really helps your, the funding of your education. So that's a plus point. Secondly, coming to the community that you find being a scholar, I think being surrounded by such amazing women who are equally, uh, you know, enthusiastic and motivated to do stuff in technology, and just sharing your achievements with them and watching them achieve something. It's a really, really, really great community to be a part of. So I think that's a plus point. Third point, I would say that to all the scholars, Google invites them for an internship interview for their third year. If you are in currently second year, you will be given an opportunity to interview with Google for an internship in your third year. So I think even if Google doesn't visit your campus and you are one of the scholars, you will get an opportunity to interview with them. So that's also a huge, huge, huge benefit. Then comes the fun part. They organize a retreat for all the scholars. For our time, it was a virtual retreat, but then also they made it like really, really engaging and special for all of us. I hope next year it's not virtual, and the scholars get to visit some cool Google office. So that's a great thing. Then you also get a lot of goodies from them, and they pamper you with their swags, their t-shirts, pens, diaries. We also received a Google Home, so it was just amazing. The goodies were amazing. So that's also a plus point of being a scholar. And I think overall, being a scholar, it really boosts up your resume, your LinkedIn profile. I think people start recognizing you. So yeah, that's all that came in mind. If something I missed, I would request Chitali and Gaurasha to add on that. Yeah.
See, I think that Astha, you have covered almost everything. But apart from the points that Astha mentions, these points themselves are like a complete treat for you. But there are some of the, just give me a minute, some of the best possible opportunities that you get being a scholar. So if you heard Asta, she mentioned something about a retreat. So the retreat that we had this year and the past scholars had in their time, that retreat is a lifetime experience. Why? Because you get to interact with some of the best Googlers all around the world, and you get to see their working style, their thinking, and how they see how they look at different things in the world, and what are their perception, and then how crucial their work is for common people, right? So when you get to interact with such people with such high level of reach and intellect, you actually get inspired. You get a sense, or you get a feeling as if you have a purpose to fulfill, and you have some role to contribute towards making the world a better place. So that is a huge impact that I found that had on me. I got to talk to some of the best people that Google has, and then I that gave me a sense as if I need to do some more. I haven't done till my max capability. So that was one thing. And then you if you heard Asta very clearly, you must have heard about the point of internship opportunities, right? So not only Google provides you internship opportunities, it actually prepares you for their interview. What it does is, this scholarship program, they prepare a complete roadmap for us, so that we can prepare for such internships and such prestigious opportunities and be ready for those. So after the retreat was over, we were given a complete roadmap containing all the resources that one could ask for. They had organized some of the coding rounds with us, questions, coding round, in where they were solving some of the Kickstart questions, if you know about Google Kickstart. So that actually prepares you for the actual interview that you have. And then apart from this, they also provide us the opportunity of a mock interview with an actual Googler. So you get to know the actual platform, you get to know the real sense, or you can say the real environment in which you would be preparing, or in which you would be giving your interview. So in a way, Google tries to prepare for uh, for someone who can work, who has a potential to work at Google. So that is another brilliant point that Google gives us. the benefit that this program gives us. And then the one last thing that I would say is, as Astha mentioned about the community. So apart from the 70 scholars, if we look at those girls that we had last year, we have formed a community who is, you know, we share about so many important things. We talk about some of the burning issues. We also talk about others' achievement and our achievement that Astha just mentioned. And then, you know, you, as I said, during the retreat, you get to meet some of the best Googlers. Then you also form network with them. We also form connections with them. So sometimes you get you know, guidance from some of those Googlers. So that also helps one person to increase their reach. So these are the points that I found were some of the best things that I could have achieved through this program. If Chitali would like to add on to some this, that would be really great as well.
Yeah, Gorisha, I think you and Asta have covered all the points. One thing which I would like to add is the quality of resume which gets enhanced after this scholarship is added to your accomplishment section. Like getting that Google brand in your resume differentiates it from all the other applications. And the second thing which I'd like to mention is that community again. That community is like, first, when I got to know about the benefits as the community, I always underrated it as a benefit. But then the community is excellent, like 70 similar minded women who guide each other, who take each other's doubts, who advise each other, and we're always there for each other. So this is something which gets underrated, but when you get to experience this thing, you realize that okay, this is the best thing that can happen to you in such a young age of your career. So I think every rest of the thing is covered by Gorish and Asta.
Okay, thank you guys for answering it in a much detail. So, and the next question I have is, what was the application process like? How did you guys apply? How much time you can expect to hear back from Google? Uh,
Yeah. Garisha, would you like to answer or should I? Yeah.
Uh, I guess I'll start and then you can continue over it, right?
Yeah, sure.
So in our time, we had three major rounds. The first round was essay and resume round, and then in the second part we had an online challenge, and then in the third part we had a one-on-one interview with a Googler, or you can say a Google recruiter. So if I talk in a bit detail for each round, so the first round, as I said, is essay and resume round. So in this round, what you're supposed to do is you are supposed to prepare a resume and then submit it on the application portal that they have for every year. And then in the essays, if you have seen the application process, you would realize that there are two essay questions, and you are supposed to answer them to your fullest knowledge and, you know, fullest experience. And then on the basis of the quality of your resume and essay, you move to the next round. And in fact, all the people who submit their application in the form of essay and resume get to give an online challenge as well. So if I talk about the online challenge, that is in our time we had two rounds, two mini challenges in the online challenge. The first mini challenge was based on mental ability and aptitude based questions, and that were pretty easy if you have the basics with you. And then in the second challenge, we had some role related knowledge questions where we were asked questions on DSA and computer fundamentals, and, you know, some input output questions and error detection questions. And from computer fundamentals, we have a wide range of questions from operating systems and computer networks and other stuff like that. And once you clear these two rounds, you reach to the final round, that is the interview. So in our time, I guess the duration for the interview was 30 to 35 minutes, but for my case, it went till 45 minutes. But I guess this year, this interview round is only for 15 minutes, if I'm not wrong. And then in the interview, the interviewer, or you can say the Google recruiter, asks you questions related to your essay, your resume, your past activities and projects, and then your views on some of the crucial topics related to women in tech and diversity, inclusiveness, and equality and equity. So this was the complete package that we had last year. So I guess I have covered a few points. Then I would like Astha and Chatali to add onto this.
Yeah, I think you've added everything. And I just want to add that you have to be very patient with the process. And it takes almost 2 months, if I'm not wrong, for the whole process, from starting from that application phase to the online round, then the video calling phase, and then the final result. So it takes around 2 months. So you should have to be very patient for the process. And rest all, Astha, you've covered it.
Yeah. Everything has been covered. That was the process, the three stages, the application, the online challenge, and then the video interview. All the applicants are allowed to give the online challenge. There's no shortlisting for the online challenge, but after the online challenge, there's a shortlisting for interviews, and only a few people, few shortlisted people are invited to give the interview. So yeah, that's the process.
And also, the topics would be told to you for the online assessment a week
Yeah.
before, Asta?
Yeah. 2-3 days back, they send you a mail with an invitation to the Google Online Coding Challenge, where
Yeah,
they give all the details and the link and the password, everything for the
yeah,
test. So yeah, for us it was a 1 hour test, 30 minutes. The Gorisha just mentioned, like Gorisha just mentioned. So it was two mini challenges, 30 minutes each. First mini challenge I think had 14 to 15 questions, and the second one had 20 questions, as far as I remember. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
MCQs. They were all MCQs. Sorry to cut you, but yeah, they were all MCQs.
so shortlisting for the second round was purely based on the performance of round one only, right?
Sorry?
Shortlisting for the second round was purely based on the cutoff on the your performance in round one only, right?
No. There was no shortlisting for the second round. Online coding challenge was attempted by everyone who submitted the application. Then the shortlisting was done both on the base of your application, which includes your essay and resume, and your online coding challenge performance for the video interview. Shortlisting was done for video interview.
So
Okay.
the important point over, I'm so sorry if I'm interrupting, but the important point to take from here is, in our time, everyone who submitted the application was invited for the online challenge, but then the shortlisting was done for the interview on the basis of all the three things, that is essay, resume, and online challenge. And I would just like to add a few points for the preparation strategies, if that is not a question that you're going to ask me next, right? So, as Astha and Chitali mentioned about some of the topics that you can prepare from. For the online challenge, I get a lot of questions on LinkedIn that how can we prepare and what are the things that you should do in order to clear that exam. So, what I would say is, for the aptitude based test, if you guys also get the aptitude based test this year, I don't think that you need a separate preparation strategy for that. Why? Because if you have given Olympiads in your school, or some other normal general ability questions that you if you have attempted them, then you really don't need to do something extra for that. But you can definitely revise a few things and look into a few questions from here and there. But for the role related questions, I would suggest that you would go to some of the best with websites available on internet, like Geeks for Geeks, Interview Bit, and some YouTube channels that I had referred at the time. So these are the places from where you can have a strong grasp of the things that can be asked into the role related questions. That was just for the online challenge, because I get a lot of questions on that, so I thought I should add it over here as well. So yeah.
Okay, so do you guys think that you guys had something extra in your resume which added on because uh, like resume was a part was a factor that was considered for your shortlisting for the next round, right? So
I think CG was considered, and apart from it, I don't think anything else was considered. Asta, would you
Yeah.
like to add?
Yeah. I think your CGPA plays a huge role in your application. I cannot stress it enough. Google sees your CGPA very seriously. So if you have a good CGPA, if 10 pointer is followed in your university, above 9 is really great. It shows how academically strong you are, and Google, gives a lot of weightage to that. So I think CGPA matters a lot. Other than that, I think your involvement in all areas is also considered. I think you should not only be having good CGPA and not done anything else. You should be also involved in some extracurriculars. You should have made some good you know tech projects. I would not say like heavy projects, but good tech projects which show that you have learned some skills and then implemented them. So I think the skill section and the project section of your resume should match. Like whatever skills you have learned, you should have implemented them in your resume. Implemented them in one way or another in some project. So I think skills and projects should be cohesive, so that CGPA and some extracurricular activities, and I think you will be good to go.
And
Gorisha,
one,
yeah.
yeah. One another thing that I would stress on while preparing for a resume, and in fact in general, is that you should try to have some involvement into some community development activities. Because see, this program, if you have read about the actual program on the Google's website, you would come to know that this program is actually to promote people who have promote women in tech, and people from diverse communities, and such topics. So your involvement into community development, that actually shows that you are working towards these concepts and these fundamentals, right? So, and in fact for this application specifically, I would say that you should stress on such activities or involvement of yours if you have done anything. Now I at this point I would also say that your involvement does not mean that it should be something on a huge or great level. A small thing that you have done for your university, let's say you are a mentor at some or the other technical society, or let's say you are helping your juniors in some way, or let's say you are promoting an event which promotes women gender discrimination, or you can say racial bias and something like that, or if you are tutoring the underprivileged students and children. So that these things that actually gives an extra edge, or you can say special effect to your resume. So you can definitely add such things as well. I hope Astha and Chitali, both of you agree to this point, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gorisha, I think the point you mentioned, that always specify and always enhance on the thing which you have done. However, how small it is does not matter, but you have to emphasize on that thing. Because as far as I remember, that time my CG was not above 9, it was something around 8.2 to 8.3, and my branch was also not computer science. I'm from electronics background. But the thing which I believe would had made my application strong was the impact I did on my college, and the way I guided my batchmates and my juniors to go in this tech field and explore this. And so you have to emphasize how you acted as the bridge between women and technology. If that is fine, then you are good to go.
And I think the resume, regarding the resume should be one pager. I think that is
Yeah.
like the most important point. Do not have to write like 2 3 pages of resume. It should be of one page. And yeah, everything else I think regarding resume is covered. Chatali and Gorisha, if I'm yeah.
Okay, so the next question I have is that what were some strong facts about your application in particular that you think led to your selection? So you have answered this question mostly, but if still you would like to add.
Yeah, uh, I would now like to talk about the essay. I think essay is the most important factor in your application. It is above your resume. It is above the online coding challenge performance. I think they, need you to write essays that reflect your personality, that reflect your viewpoints, that reflect your thoughts about society. I think your essay should be unique. My essay, I would say, uh, my application would have been noticed because my essays were unique. My essays were not copied from internet. My essays, uh, you know, showed that I had a will to impact uh, a community that I was so passionate about. Even if I had not done like some large scale things, I had the will to do that. So I think you should definitely show that you have the will to make an impact, to contribute to the community of women, even if you have not done things. And regarding the things you have done, you should know how to portray them. Okay, even if you are a mentee, I am not saying you are a mentor. Okay, even if you are a mentee, you should know how to write that in your essay. If you are writing that, I'm just a mentee, and I am, sorry, is someone saying anything? Okay. Okay. So yeah, I was just saying that you should know how to portray things, and you should definitely be proud of your achievements yourself. If you are proud of your achievements, you will be able to, write them accordingly. Next thing I would say that what I did was I researched a lot. I read a lot of articles, around this topic of women in technology, problems faced by them, what is being done in general by some large companies. So I think that research expanded my horizon of thought processes, because then I could, I'm not copying anything from internet, but I am increasing my vocabulary to write my own thoughts by reading those articles. So I think everyone who is applying should read some articles on internet that are around these topics, so that they increase their vocabulary, and then they can write their own thoughts in the essays. So that's like my golden tip for you all. Garisha and Chetali, that you would, if you would like to add something.
Asta, you carved it in the most wonderful way that I would say. Just a few points here and there I would add is, first thing is, as Astha indicated, you should be very truthful to your essay. It should not the person who is reading should not feel as if you aren't saying those things. You are not the one who feels this, right? So as Astha said, that it should reflect that you are having a will to do something. So let's say you looked at somebody else's article, or you can say essay, and then you try to copy something from there. First of all, copying is one of the worst thing that you can make while applying for such programs, because the reader who is reading your essay, that person is a very experienced person, even if you don't know him or her, but he or she is the person who can, just by having a glance at your application, would come to know that you have copied it from somewhere. So that is one thing that you should definitely avoid. And then, as Asa said, your application should be unique, right? So now you must be thinking, what can I do to make my resume unique, my essay unique? For this, what I if I could reflect on my essay, then I would say that one thing that I did that I think made my application stand out was the fact that in the question where we were asked to write about the challenges faced by women in tech, I'm not going to give you the exact things, but the major things. So in that question, what I tried to do was, after all the challenges that I mentioned in my application, I try to provide a solution that I would have done or I had done in past. Right. So see, the if you have read the question in this year as well, I guess the question is exactly same. So the question is divided into two parts actually. The first part is actually asking you about the challenges, whereas the second part is asking about the challenges that you could do, the impact that you could have by your challenges, right? So do not forget to show that how are you working towards these challenges. See, I would say that I consider myself fortunate and lucky that I did not face any challenge in particular, or individually or on my level, but I have seen people who have experienced these challenges. So I talked about the experiences that I had seen, and how I was trying to reduce them. So that was one major point that I think my essay answer for this question helped me. And then the other thing that Asa said, that you should research about it. Why? Because it is possible that you have some challenges in your mind very clear, like you know what you need to write, or about the challenges that you want to address in your essay. But even then you should have a thorough research about those challenges. Why? Because what will happen is, if when you listen to other people's experiences and their views on a particular topic, then your understanding for that topic increases. Because what happens is, when we think of a point or a topic, we think it from our view, we think it from one perception or one aspect of it. But when we read about others view, about others works, and about their experiences, we get to see the complete picture of that topic, right? So research about it completely, because you guys have a lot of time right now. It's 10th November today, and I guess the application is the deadline is 10th December. You have complete 30 days. So I would say, take your own time to research about all the topics and all the challenges that you want to write, or anything that you want to add in your on your essay, and then write about it. Don't just directly jump into your notepad and your pen, or you can say Word doc if you use that. Don't directly jump into that. Have a complete research about it, and as I said in the initial point, be truthful. Don't copy anything, right? That is the most important thing. And one important point that you should definitely consider while writing in your essay is, do not overcross, or do not cross the limit of the words that you have, that you're required to answer in. Let's say you have 500 words, then make sure that your essay does not exceed 500 words, or nor does it just 300. In 300 words you wrapped up your answer. Because those 500 words are going to reflect your personality, are going to reflect who you are in person, right? So try to utilize each and every word to the fullest. So don't exceed your answer, and in fact don't reduce the limit of your answer. So that is these are the things that I would say on my part.
Yeah, I think you both have added all the things. I just want to advise that do not be in haste and research everything about the application, and only then write. Just write small paragraphs at a time. Do not just write the whole paragraph for like on 9th of December. Just keep calm and be relaxed, and then everything will be fine. And one more thing which Gorisha said was, do not copy, and I would emphasize it 10 times: do not copy, because that impacts your application very much negatively, and they do not care if your experience is very true, and your challenges are very true, but even if you have copied a single part, that will definitely negatively emphasize your application. So that's it. And I think you've covered all the things Korishan asked.
Just last 2 points, if I could add. I forgot to add them while I was speaking, if that is okay with you
Yeah,
guys.
sure.
So one important thing that I did while writing my essay was, uh, as I said, research about your topics. So after a complete thorough research, what I did was, I tried to make a list of points that I wanted to add in my essay, and then I iterated over my list of the topics, and I tried to figure out which point should I add and which point should I remove. So this is something that you guys can also do. Have a complete research about each and every topic that you want to add, and then think about it. Should I add it, or should I drop the idea? Because you need to understand what impact this point is going to make on the reader, right? So this is one strategy, or you can say trick, that you can use. And the other point, as Chitali and Astha and I have stressed a lot, that you should not copy. I'll just give you a quick reason why should you not copy. Last year, around 5,000 applications went for this program. Now, think of it this way: the person who is reading the application, he or she has read almost more than it, I would say, on the least part, more than 100 applications, right? if you have copied something, it is very highly likely that the other person has also copied. So the reader will get to know, even if you haven't used the direct words, or you can say the exact same sentence, but he or she will get to know the idea. So he or she will get to know that okay, the person A has written about this idea, person B has written about this idea, and person C has also written about this idea. Then definitely both of all three of these have copied it from somewhere or the other. So yes, you need to understand the person, that the person who is reading your application is not someone inexperienced or someone who's new to all this stuff. He or she is a person who has a vast ocean of experience. He or she will definitely get to know that you have copied it from somewhere. So yeah, that is the point that I wanted to add.
Okay. So, the next question I have is that what are the some general tips you have for women in technology and how they can maximize their college years?
Yeah, I would like to say that the mantra for everyone, like irrespective, you are a man, you are a woman, you are a girl, you are a boy, anything, never say no to an opportunity. Apply for everything. Even if you feel that you may not get selected, or you are not enough, or your resume will not get selected, apply for it. या आपको पैसे तो देने नहीं है, ठीक है, यू आर नॉट अप्लाइंग इट फॉर लाइक आफ्टर गिविंग अ मॉनेटरी अमाउंट. So free ka hai, so apply for everything. You might get shortlisted, you do not know. Okay, when I was applying for Generation Google Scholarship, trust me, I had like no idea that I would even get shortlisted for the interview process. Like, not even imagining getting shortlisted finally for being a scholar. So I think applying for everything and anything possible is the first major point that I would like to, advise everyone. Secondly, I think explore. During 4 years of your college life, you should explore. You should see where your potential lies, where you are having fun doing the work. If you love coding, do coding. If you love development, do development. If you love writing essays, you love creative writing, do that. I think following what you like, what you actually find fascinating is really, really important. And it, you know makes your personality grow. Thirdly and lastly, I would not make my answer longer. I would say confidence. You need to build your confidence. Whenever you meet a new person, whenever you are giving interviews, yes, you get judged by your coding skills if you are applying for a software profile. But the second most important thing that they see in you is your confidence. How you talk, how you behave, how you conduct yourself. So I think that is very, very important. And this scholarship actually test all of your aspects. They take online coding challenge to test your coding skills, and then they take interviews to test your personality, to test your confidence, to test how you speak. So I think all the women that are currently in this field, you will be told many a times that you are not enough, or you are at a position only because you are a woman, or you are not at a position because you are a woman. I think just don't listen to these things, and build your confidence, build your skills. You have these amazing 4 years of your life that you need to utilize. Explore everything, apply to everything, and yeah, you will excel. Thank you.
Yeah, I think Astha, the second point you made, I was really impressed by that. That explore everything. Like you should not get influenced by any of your senior or any of your, classmate. It's good to get influenced by some amount, but just following them blindly, this is not going to help you. You should explore every field, like do development, do CP, do AI, ML, explore everything and then decide what's good for you, and then go in that direction. Because in this world, I think opportunities are just a piece of cake. You'll if you are good at anything, you'll get opportunities. There's no problem in that. And the second thing which I want to point is that always create a very healthy environment around you. The competition should be there, but it should be very healthy. It's not like that you got a notification, for example, for this Generation Google Scholarship, as an example. Do not think like, okay, I would not tell this to my friend, or they'll go ahead of me, or what will happen like that. Do not think like that. Always and always share your achievements and the opportunities to everybody, so that everybody gets the benefit. Because ultimately, if your friends are getting opportunities, your network is getting bigger and brighter. So just have a healthy environment and a healthy competition around you.
You guys have summed it up in the most, best way, or not most best way, but in the best way possible, right? So I'll just, iterate over the points that you guys said and add a few things that I think are important as well. As Astha said about the last point, that it is possible that, irrespective of your gender, it is possible that you will get undermined or you will get criticized for who you are. That is the point when you have to take it as a challenge, that if someone says that you are not capable of doing this, or if you are not in a position to do this, or you can never do it, that is the time when you have to challenge yourself. You have to say कि, मतलब if I say in Hindi, then I would say you have to think as if इसने ऐसे बोला कैसे. If he or she thinks that I can do it, but I know that I can do it, that is the time when you have to take your step down and say that no, I will do it and I'll show you. मतलब I know when people say I'll show you things, these things have a negative impact, but this is where this thing can have a positive impact on your personality. You need to take that as a challenge. You need to accept that challenge and then work towards proving them wrong. That is the most important thing that you need to keep in mind. Then the other point is, as Astha said about exploring things. See, a lot of time we get influenced by so many people. We in fact, I am sure a lot of people must be thinking, अरे वाह, आस्था दीदी ने तो कितना अच्छा काम किया, चेताली दी कितनी बढ़िया हैं, or let's say some things like that, right? This is the time that you need to understand that all three of us had our own different path. We have seen different ups and downs, right? Maybe the path that Astha followed was completely different from what I have done, and Chitali might find both of us completely different from her history and her journey. So you need to understand that we carved our roadmap for our for in our own way. You cannot work on my step or Astha's step or Chaitali's step or any other person's step. You need to make your own road. You need to make your own path, and then and in fact, you need to make your own destination. That this is the point that I need to reach, right? So just first of all, just understand that every person has a different journey, and I'm going to make my own journey. This is the point that I'm trying to make. And then the third point that I would say over here, again on the same lines as Astha said, that you should always look for such opportunities like this program. Now, one point, as Astha said, that you never know you get selected or not. The other point is, let's say you get rejected, God forbid, but you get rejected. What will happen? You will analyze yourself once again. What are the things that I missed in my application? What are the things that I could have done to enhance my application? And the next time you apply for some other program, it will definitely help you. I'll tell you about my example. Before this program, just a few months before this program, I had applied for I don't remember the exact name, but I guess VTech. No, I guess it was some.
Goldman Sachs VTech
Yeah,
scholarship.
yeah. I had applied for that program, as Astha said, and I got rejected. For first few days I was disheartened because I had put up a lot of efforts in writing that application, and then I was like, what could have gone wrong? Perhaps this year a lot of application got in there and they must have overlooked my application and stuff like that. But once I was over with my this phase, that what could have gone wrong, I actually visited all the essay answers that I had given over there, the application form that I had filled over there, and I realized some of the most uh, big what's that word? I realized the points that where my application went wrong. I realized that my essay writing skills were not good. I was not able to make a point in my application. So these points, while I was applying for Google Generation Scholarship, I actually while writing the essays and while filling up the application form, all the points that I had missed in Goldman Sachs application, I tried to incorporate them into this application. So whenever you get rejected, that is the point where you need to understand where things would have gone wrong, and then you need to take lessons from them. So do apply for all the possible opportunities, because once you get selected, that will automatically boost up your confidence. But if you get rejected, then you get to know about the places where you were lacking previously. So that is one thing that I just wanted to say with over here. And remember one thing, I always believe in this thing. I guess there will be people who might disagree with me, but I always think that if something is supposed to be done, it will happen only after you have reached to that level. Let's take the example of this Goldman Sachs application and Google Generation Scholarship. I was not prepared for such programs till the time I had given Goldman Sachs program, and then I raised my level so that I can get selected into this program by Google. So if something is supposed to be done, it will happen only after you have reached to that level. If you are below it, you might not be able to reach to that point, but you need to raise your level. You need to raise your bar, and then definitely there's nothing that can stop you from achieving that. So yeah, that would be all from my side.
Yeah, Gorisha, I'd like to add one point here that you said rejections. I think, practically speaking, rejections will happen and you have to be habitual of them. But you have to take it positively. Like, for example, you're searching for internships. You only want one internship, right? So if you're applying for 10 internships, it's okay to get rejected from 9 of them. So if you are getting rejected, just think that okay, it is one step closer to my success. So do not think okay, I'm getting rejected, I should leave all this. Just keep your approach positive and keep applying. Thank you.
Okay. So, what are some of the other programs or these kinds of scholarships that you guys have applied to or want to apply in future, or you came across such opportunities?
Yeah, so I myself was a part of few, so I would first go over them. Firstly, there's a program called Intuit Augment Mentorship Program that Intuit organizes every year for women in second year. So it's a mentorship program for about 6 to 8 weeks, and you get one-to-one mentorship from software engineers working at Intuit, and after the completion of the program they give you internship opportunities as well. So I think that is a great program to be a part of. I got a lot of insights about how should I proceed with my career during that program. So they have, I think, a list of colleges that they approach to for this program. They might change this year, so everyone should look out for that. So Intuit Augment is one. Then comes Goldman Sachs VTech scholarship that Gorsha just mentioned. It's a 6-month program, if I'm not wrong. And there also you have to submit essays and stuff. And that is also a great scholarship. So that is one. Then there's a program called Flipkart GWC, Girls Wanna Code. They conduct a test, a coding test, online coding test in the month of February, as far as I remember. And then they also provide you with mentorship and stuff like that. And after the program is over, you get internship opportunities at Flipkart. So Flipkart GWC is one. Then comes Microsoft Engage. So Microsoft Engage is a great initiative by Microsoft, and it is open for all campuses. So it, irrespective of your college, you can apply there. They conduct a 45-minute to 1 hour online test, and on the basis of that test you get shortlisted for the program, in which you get mentorship from software engineers working at Microsoft, and you work on a project for again I think it's a 4 to 6 weeks program. And after that you get internship opportunities at Microsoft. So Microsoft Engage is also a great program for everyone, for not only for women but for boys as well. So yeah, that were some programs that I had applied to. Gaurusha and Chitali, you can add on to that.
So, adding to the programs, see, Asta and I are from the same university, so we have received almost the same opportunities. So, along with the opportunities that Asta mentioned, there's another program by JPMC called Code for Good Hackathon. That is an amazing hackathon that you get to participate. What happens in this is that the people who get selected from this for this program via an coding assessment and virtual interview, you get to participate in the annual hackathon organized by JPMC, a 24 hours hackathon, where you are teamed up with 6 or 7 people from around India, and then you really don't know those people, and then you are supposed to develop products for some of the NGOs that are working towards making the place and making the world to be a better place, right? So you get to work on projects related to those organizations, and then you, as a hackathon has winners, you get to win those hackathons, right? And then after you get over with the hackathon, some people get direct internship offers by JPMC, right? So you by just working in a hackathon, irrespective of your work winning or not, you get directly the offer from JPMC. So that is another great program. And then I'll also talk about some non-technical programs and some programs which are on a smaller scale. So there are a lot of mentorship programs by, let's say, women who code, and some other platforms. You can definitely apply for those programs as well. And then you should also try to be a part of programs such as the Delhi government recently started a program called Education Mentoring Program, where students from universities and undergrad colleges, go and they try to help students from 9 to 11th standard. So this is where you can reach your you can increase your community development part, right? So these are some really good programs. And then if I just in a minute, I'll think of any other program that I can think right now. Yeah, I guess that's all from my side. But yeah, one very important point that you should take from Astha's points and all the opportunities that she mentioned, almost all the opportunities by such big companies, they provide you an opportunity to have a direct interview with them, so that you can grab an internship at those organizations. So definitely go out and have a look for all such opportunities, because you never know, you might end up having an internship at those organizations. So yeah, that would be from my side. In fact, just last time, in fact, Google Generation Scholarship provided us the opportunity to interview with them. So I'm just trying to prove my point over here.
Yeah, and I think other programs, especially for females, also include Flipkart's Runway, which I was a part of, and then Twitter Developer, and then VGHCI too, which I think one of you is a VGHCI scholar too, Astha or Garisha. And
Gaurusha is
yeah,
VGHC, yeah.
and then I think we have Adobe WIT scholarship, Women in Tech scholarship. So these scholarships open in the end of the year, like from August to October. So keep an eye on them and just follow some influencers or some YouTube channels, so that you never miss out an opportunity, because you never know which opportunity will prove to be a golden point for you.
And just a few more opportunities that strike my mind. There are a few competitions organized by companies like Flipkart and Mintra. Flipkart organizes Flipkart Grid, and then Mintra organizes HackerRank. So these are some really great opportunities as well. Why? Because you get to develop a product under them as the competition, and then you also get the opportunity to have an interview with them, right? So these are another great point programs that you should definitely look out for. And just while applying for these programs, just keep in mind that you are like any other applicant that who is applying for these programs. There's no one who is above you or below you. It's like all of you, all the people who are applying, they are on the same level, because when you yourself will think कि मुझसे आगे भी कोई हो सकता है या मुझसे ज़्यादा भी कोई हो सकता है करने वाला, तो it is possible that you undermine your own capabilities. So just apply for all the programs that you get to you encounter with. And as Chitali mentioned about some influencers and YouTube channels, if I could name a few, there is a person called Arsh Goel. He makes some YouTube videos and LinkedIn posts where he, tells us about all such opportunities. In fact, I got to know about Goldman Sachs opportunity from him only. So, and then there are some people like just give me a minute. I'll also tell you the name from the Telegram group. Kushal Vijay. So this guy also helps you with such programs and opportunities. So definitely try to follow them. And then there are a lot of Telegram and LinkedIn communities where you can increase your reach. I'll just tell you a few groups that I am a part right now. There is a group called Women in Tech IIIT D, where you can get to know about such opportunities. And then there is another Telegram channel called Student Programs and Opportunities, and then such other platforms as well. So definitely try to be a part of such communities where people share about such opportunities, and that might prove, as Chetali said, that might prove to be a golden strike for you.
Okay. So one program I came across is D. Shaw's This is Ascent Educare program. Uh,
Yeah. We missed on that. That is also a great program, the short descent program. The applications, I think, are now closed. They will open for next year. So yeah, the short
okay.
descent is also a great program.
Okay. So uh, before we start with the second part of the session, I would like to give credits for the session to Ajay Kumar, who invited you all and uh, prepared for the session. Uh, so, hi Ajay, thank you for that.
Hi everyone.
Hi
Hi,
Sorry I
Ajay.
couldn't.
Thank
Sorry,
yeah.
sorry I couldn't welcome you earlier. I had a test at my in my classroom. So and really great session. Thank you so very much for coming here. If PEC ACM could ever do anything for you, we'll definitely be there. Thank you very much for coming.
thank you
Yeah,
so much
thank
for
you so much.
providing us this platform where we could address a lot of people and impact their application process. I think I might if I was able to help you guys. So yeah, thank you so much for giving us this platform.
And I think there's a question in the chat. What is the syllabus for MCQ round in GGS? So as far as I remember, Asta, was it related to DSA and aptitude and some English
Yeah.
questions and sequence
Yeah.
of questions as well?
So, as I said, the challenge was divided into two mini challenges. The first challenge was general cognitive ability. So it had some aptitude questions, some verbal reasoning questions as well. So it
Yeah.
was pretty general. And if you want to practice aptitude questions, there's a site called indiabix.com. I think they have some great examples. So if you want to practice some aptitude questions, you can go there. The questions we had were, I think, 14 to 15 in number. They were all MCQs, and we had 30 minutes. The next mini challenge was C++, data structures and algorithms, and computer fundamentals, which included OOPS, OS, computer networks, and the number of questions were around 20 as far as I remember, and we had 30 minutes to answer them. They were also in the MCQ format, and to practice those type of questions, I think GFG, previous gate year questions, and you will find a lot of questions, output questions on internet, so you can practice from there. There's no such thing as a syllabus for the online coding challenge, but if your fundamentals are strong, you will be able to go through the challenge pretty easily.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you do not need to worry much about the challenge because they'll tell you the syllabus 1 week before, so it is
Yeah.
sufficient for preparing.
What was the level of CN and OS questions? The level was the same as your semester syllabus. I think if you have read OS and CN in your semester, I think you will be able to solve the questions. They were not tough, they were pretty easy. And also, I would like to add that online coding challenge does not hold a lot of importance in your application. So, yes, you should attempt it very seriously, but even if it goes like 1 point up or down, it's no issue. So, don't worry about that a lot.
I'll just add a point over here is since a lot you guys were asking about the level of these things, I would say that Google understands the point that you guys are still in your second year and you guys
Right.
have not explored a lot of things up till now. In fact, you guys have just started with second year, so Google does understand to this point. So they don't really ask some of the very advanced things or some of the things that you might think, oh my god, ye kahan se aa gaya, aisa kuch nahi hoga. They do understand that you guys are on a very basic level, so they'll try to incorporate questions which relate to your level of understanding and knowledge. So don't worry about what level and kahan kitna bada kitna zyada, itna kuch aise kuch nahi hai. It's just try to have your basics clear. That's all.
Arnav has asked this time they don't mention their like it is only. Yeah. So we all the scholars talked about this to the HR of Google, to the person we are in contact with, and she said that yes, anyone and everyone can apply this year, but they strongly encourage women to apply. So even if you are a boy, you can apply this year, and yeah, they are welcoming all applicants. So, yes, you can apply.
And one more point over here is don't feel as if you are not from a CS background or CS or IT
Yeah,
background, then you cannot apply or something like that. Because last year, if I'm not if not I'm not wrong, there are a few scholars who were from mechanical and civil branch. Now you can understand that they don't even have the subjects related to CS and ID, but still they were considered for the application and then they got selected. So if you belong to a non-circuital branch, then even then I would suggest that you should definitely apply for the program because they don't have any restriction on this part. Even though the application form and the website says that women in computer science and women in tech, but don't refrain yourself from this opportunity on this technical term.
are there any more questions? Also, guys, you can connect with us on LinkedIn. We would be really happy to help you in any way possible. So, yeah, if you
I
have
just
any
forgot.
questions,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, carry on.
I was just saying that if you have any questions after this session as well, you can connect with us on LinkedIn and we would be happy to help you guys there. Yeah, Garisha, you can continue now.
Yeah, I just forgot a very important point while writing an essay. You should definitely get your essay reviewed by some
Yeah.
of the past scholars. That is very important because they have achieved this scholarship. They have they know what kind of an application would make an impact on the reader and what kind of an application can need an improvement in some stuff like that. So we can definitely help you with reviewing your resume. And in fact, I am grateful to the seniors that from whom I got my application reviewed. So I think that this is the least that we can carry forward and pass it to you guys. So definitely get your essays reviewed from the past scholars. And thank you so much, PEC ACM, for passing our LinkedIn IDs on the chat so that everyone can, just hop on to our pages and our accounts and, on LinkedIn, and then definitely we'll try to help you out there.
So, any other questions from audience, or should we wrap up the session? So we'll wait for a couple of minutes, and then we'll wrap up the session if there are no more questions.
If you guys are still here, I again forgot a point to mention. I'm so sorry. I'm feeling very clumsy today. So I just wanted to say participate into hackathons, because that is really important, because you know what happens is through hackathons you get to, I'll just quickly wrap up. Through hackathons you get to work on some projects, and those projects can turn into a project that you can add into your resume as well. So participate into hackathons, and initially it is possible that you might not get selected, or your team might not win anything hackathon, but eventually that will also come. So do participate into hackathons, because from there you, as I said, you'll add some projects in your resume, and then you'll also get to know about what it is like to work under pressure. So yeah.
Okay, so thank you guys for joining in. Uh, okay, I think I accepted all the requests that were there. Anyways, we are wrapping up the session now. So thank you guys for joining in and answering the questions in a lot detail. And I think we all learned a lot. I myself did definitely. And I think this part of opportunities is missed a lot of times, that yeah, something like this scholarship kind of thing also happens. Either we don't have the right knowledge, or the knowledge of how to apply and what are the things that should be kept in mind. So I think we guys definitely got much more clarity on that part. So thanks a lot for all of you to joining in. And yeah.
Thank you guys for inviting us over. It was a great session, and I hope everyone took something out of it. And yeah, thank you so much for inviting us.
And thank you, PEC ACM, for inviting us.
And to the audience as well, for being such wonderful
Yeah.
audience, not just listening to us and asking questions. That was really good. So thank you so much for being such a great audience today.